Hello, friends, and welcome to this Libra New Moon Pick a Card reading. If you are interested in a wonderful breathwork meditation to help you kind of get in the zone and discover which card is meant for you, then please stick around or click on the meditation timestamp below in the description box to take you directly to that meditation. Get comfortable, get cozy, get settled in, and get ready to focus on your breath for, I think it's about 8 minutes long. If you're not interested in the meditation and you know exactly which card is meant for you, you can find the timestamp for group 1, 2, or 3 in the description box below as well. And after you have listened to your meditation and or reading, you can find a closing statement timestamp at the end for a collective reading, a little bit more about the new moon in Libra, as well as some announcements and upcoming things. Thank you so much for your support. I hope that you find that these readings resonate for you. I really enjoyed making them, as well as the ASMR meditation. So please comment, like, subscribe, and share with your friends if you find that these videos are healing, incentive, and insightful for setting your new moon intentions and for connecting to yourself and your own healing journey. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope to see you on the other side. Happy new moon!
Inhale with me. Inhale again. One more time with me. Continue to breathe deeply as you focus on the images of the 3 cards below. Do you choose pile number 1 with the dove, the symbol of peace? Take a deep breath. You are smarter and wiser and stronger than the things you have overcome. Breathe in. Find peace. intentions come to mind here. Allow your breath to flow. Rest, relax, inhale through you. Healing, nurturing, allowing. Exhale and make room. Create space. Make room for the new. Inhale. Exhale the old. Let it go. This is your time. You have allowed this sacred space to recalibrate. Thank yourself. Thank your breath. Love yourself. Love your breath. Find balance. One, two, three.
Hello, group 1. If you chose this beautiful dove heart, we will get to this love message at the end. But this is your reading for the new moon in Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus, so that's why I've chosen the love messages as our main focus here. We've got some tarot cards from the Alice deck, and I could not resist breaking out my Halloween cards already, so we've got a few of those. So take a deep breath. Our first card that we have here is the Queen of Cups. And the Page of Cups in reverse. I'll show her to you upright. The Page of Swords in reverse. And the Justice card in reverse. So just looking at the tarot cards here, I think I see those of you that chose this pile as embodying Queen of Cups energy. However, I think that there has been some disconnect between remembering. So the Queen of Cups remembers to fill her cup before taking care of other people. Or like they say on an airplane, to put your oxygen mask on, since we're talking about air here, to put your oxygen mask on before assisting anybody else. And I think that with the rest of the cards here, the biggest message is you're taking care of everybody else and not taking care of yourself. And I think that for some of you, you think that you have been taking care of yourself too, but with the Page of Cups and the Page of Swords and Justice in reverse, there's some disconnect. There's some I think our main message here is to set intentions for the new moon around taking care of yourself, focusing on self-care. You are the master of taking care of others, but you are not taking care of yourself. You think that you are, and when I say that, I mean the things that you might be doing for yourself isn't rejuvenating and isn't fulfilling you emotionally, mentally, physically. And that could be like, and we all do this. I'm not like passing any judgment on anybody. We binge watch TV at night after dinner, or we overindulge in food or sweets or drink, and we call that relaxing. We call that rejuvenating, whereas we're just kind of numbing for a while, tuning out for a while. So there hasn't been like some real replenishment. And when we're binge watching TV shows, our brain doesn't know that we aren't experiencing what we're watching. So like if you're watching something scary or a crime drama or any kind of just drama that's just like or anything that's like stressful, which most things are. I mean, that's why they're entertaining. That's how they get hooked. We have to have a conflict that's resolved at the end of the show. And you're experiencing that tense moment physically in your body because your brain doesn't know. So as much as we feel like checking out at the end of the night by binge watching TV, it's not actually filling our cup. Like something that would be filling your cup would be, you know, like the traditional things that you would say of like having a spa day or taking a bath. And I think one of the biggest things that I like to encourage on this channel is that you don't have to do those. It doesn't have to cost money to take care of yourself. Simply just taking a few moments to breathe, to sit and breathe, focus on your breath and make sure that you are breathing correctly. Even for 5 minutes a day is going to have a huge impact on your life because it's allowing your body to reset and it's reminding your body that, hey, this is how we breathe. This is how we get oxygen into our blood. And I think that the oxygen has been a big focus on these readings so far. And I think that is because Libra is an air sign. And I think it's really important that I think that when we go through the elements, we're able to experience these like reminders of like, hey, it's an air day. Maybe I should do some breath work today. Or, hey, it's an earth day. Maybe I should do something physical today. Or, hey, it's a fire day. Maybe I should do something creative or active. And hey, it's a water day. Maybe I should drink some nourishing beverage or take a bath or really take like a meditative shower. Like we all have to take showers. We all have to wash our face at night. Using these things that we already do and just making them that much more special and therapeutic is something that I think everybody can incorporate, especially if you're already doing those things, which hopefully you are. If you're not taking a shower, that is self-care. I know that I kind of like try to save time and put off taking a shower sometimes, and I notice that my mood decreases. I have more depression and anxiety around those times, and so just these little things like taking taking a shower and washing your face is really important to self-care. I think that you're putting others before yourself. And with this last card here, the Justice card in reverse, I think that this comes down to some sort of unworthiness, like I'm not able to, or I'm not allowed to relax and rejuvenate until I've done X, Y, and Z, whether that's taking care of somebody else, whether that's a certain task or project that you need to complete. Or I think as we are entering shadow season, this is a time of shadow work and exploring who was it that told you when you were a child that you're not allowed to rest. If you're a woman, we are programmed from a very early age that we cannot rest until all of the housework is done, that until the dishes are done, that the dinner's on the table, and we have to do all of this while maintaining a career and a job and taking care of kids. And this is a core belief that needs to be rewritten in our society, but there are, for individually speaking, we all have to discover that who taught us that. Was it our mother that modeled that for us? So we thought that that's what we were supposed to do, and or was it a teacher or a friend, or who was it that like told you that you weren't allowed to take care of yourself until you did whatever? Let's get into so with the Page of Cups in reverse, we are not paying attention to our intuition. And I think along the lines of self-care, I think this is learning to discover those signals that your body is showing you when you need to take time out for yourself. And with the Page of Swords in reverse, this is a message of kind of having your head in the clouds, like maybe like you think checking out and watching TV or smoking or drinking at the end of the night, you think that is fulfilling your self-care. And yeah, maybe it is if you take a nap while you're doing that, or if you're meditating while you're doing that, or if you're really allowing yourself to rest. But with this Page of Swords in reverse, this is your head is just in the clouds, and you might be like checking out mentally, but it's not fulfilling or rejuvenating anything physically or mentally. And this all comes back from, for some reason, you feel like you're not allowed to take care of yourself. So moving into the Oracle cards, we have this Haunted card, and it is coming to us in reverse. We have the Bat card, and I'm showing you these upright because the images are so beautiful, but this one is also coming to us in reverse. And Greet the Darkness. This comes to us upright. So the Haunted card in reverse basically asks you to stop playing the victim. You are not what happens or what happened to you. You are how you react to it. So this is about changing how we react to situations in the world and doing them differently, like not having the same reaction that you've had in the past to things, and not doing shadow work on victim. On being the victim is really, really deep work. And like I said earlier, we're taking little chunks at a time out of this shadow work. It's not something that you have to do overnight, or it's not something that you do just on the new moon and then it's just done and over with. This is things that you plant that seed, and it will grow and it will grow, and you'll start to take little chunks of it and little pieces of it eventually until you break it down, and then those pieces are so small and you're able to digest them and integrate them into who you are. And this is how we create balance. Just remember that you are not what happened to you. You are how you react to it. The person that you are today is who you are, and that should be like your base of where you react from. We're not reacting from how we reacted in the past. We're not carrying the past with us. We are integrating it and moving forward. So, greeting the darkness, when we bring this shadow to light, we can heal it, we can change it, we can learn and evolve and grow from whatever that shadow is. So you are ready. This greet the darkness is you are ready to bring your inner truth to the surface. So we're going to read from the Bat card and the Greet the Darkness card as well. Darkness. You might get a sense of terror from what you can't see, but not all hidden things are bad. There are many things that you cannot see that hold the secret to life, abundance, and renewal. Like the lotus flower that blooms from the darkness of muddy waters, there is beauty in the darkness for those who know where to look with their heart. You have pulled Greet the Darkness as a call to go deep into your dark corners. There are parts of you that are beautiful yet remain undiscovered. You must allow yourself to open to the unknown. You can do this by confronting old wounds, lost memories, feelings of shame, guilt, and disappointment. This is called shadow work, a practice that allows you to make friends with your demons rather than hide from them. What seems like a monster is really a lost part of you needing love and support. When feelings such as anger, resentment, and chaos come around, it is because those feelings are trying to protect you in the only way they know how. Anger only knows anger and can only offer its support in that way. Chaos only knows chaos, so that is the only way it can get your attention. These feelings are trying to help you find the beautiful gems that are waiting in the dark spaces of your being. Confront whatever feelings you have surrounding your situation. Allow those feelings to surface and face them without fear. Greet them and ask them how you can work together. Journal your meditative conversation with your dark parts. Within their words of advice, you will discover a lost or missing piece of yourself. Going into the dark realms of your subconscious is a healing practice. Be warned about getting lost in the darkness, as spending too much time in the unknown is how you forget to live. Using what you learn and discover in the darkness and bringing it to the light is how you ground your spiritual guidance. What purpose is there in finding creativity, rest, and passion in the dark if you don't use those assets to manifest your greatest dreams? This is a challenge for energy workers who spend too much time reconnecting with intuition and not enough time taking action. Seek guidance and healing in the dark. Step into the light and make your dreams come true. So basically, do your shadow work, but be careful not to get stuck in the darkness. And I have this problem a lot too. Usually around the new moon, I just get into that hibernation zone, and it takes a while for me to jumpstart and get back into it, usually around the first quarter moon. And then we've got some color goddesses, because we've got to have the darkness with the color and beauty and light. So we have Sage, Alchemy, Solutions, and Wisdom. And Sunflower, Happiness, Joy, and Play. Now, I think that the Sage card with the Alchemy, Solutions, and Wisdom, I feel like this is speaking to integrating this shadow integrating this shadow with your light. We are integrating the darkness and the light. This is what Libra teaches us to do, how to balance these things out. And right now, self-care is weighing too heavily on one side of your scales. So we need to take little chunks of this shadow and take it off of our scales so that your scale can even itself out again. And I think that for you, maybe finding something that allowing yourself some playtime, doing something that like maybe coloring at the end of the day, or finding like, I really love using guided meditations that like take you on a journey. So it's like a journey for your soul to go on when you're meditating, and playing a game, doing something silly, like something that you enjoyed as a child, buying yourself a little stuffed animal to remind you of that innocent joy within. So we will read the goddess messages here too. There is a solution, and you have the ability to find it. Sage Goddess is the grand witch, the warlock, the wizard, the sage, wise and admired. She can shapeshift into the form of a moth, fluttering unnoticed, gathering information and insight from all areas and all dimensions. Her wizard's hat bears the alchemical symbols of the 4 elements. Her sage sometimes flowers in light purples or whites, but she prefers the silvery green color. Her gemstone is light green jade, and her headpiece is garnished with jade and silver. Her home is furnished with jade statues of wise ones: Confucius, Gandhi, Jesus, Mother Mary, Rumi, Socrates, Plato, Mohammed, Hera, Gaia, and Buddha, and more. What does this card mean for you? Take a look at all the images. If you trust your own inner wisdom, what messages do you receive? Perhaps you can find the solution here, or maybe you will seek advice from one who is more wise. Either way, you have the ability to get to the bottom of it, to find the solution. It's time to place more importance on family and friends. Get outside in the sunshine, watch a funny movie, dance, play, and have some fun. It's time to get those gray clouds out of your mind and open up to let the sun shine. Sunflower Goddess is joyful and playful, her bright yellow-orange energy extending out for all to feel. When she smiles at you, you cannot help but to feel the warm radiance. Her message is to always look on the bright side and for you to know that you can create your own sunshine. Like the tall sunflowers that reach up towards the sky, you too can rejoice at being alive. Laugh or dance, play games, take walks outdoors underneath the midday sun. Reconnect with friends and loved ones. Sunflower Goddess plants her flowers where they are most needed, where they can watch over those who need to be reminded of the sunshine and of bliss. Her tarot card is, of course, the sun, and one of her symbols is the astrological sun symbol. Her sacred stone is the upbeat yellow citrine, and she covets Wunjo, which looks a bit like the letter P, the Nordic rune of joy. Walk through her doors into her bright flowery meadow and find yourself experiencing life's delights, forgotten perhaps, but only for a short while. So group 1, for you, this new moon intention should be around self-care. Remember that shadow work is self-care. You're ready to greet the darkness and turn this justice card upside down. Balance your scales. Go into the darkness, discover what you find there, and come back into the light and color of the world. And last but not least, we have our beautiful love message. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. So again, No matter what has happened to you in the past, you have the power to change that, to use it, to learn from it, to grow from it. It doesn't mean that it was okay that it happened to you. It doesn't mean that it will happen again. It means that you had that experience, you learned from it, you can heal from it, you can share with others your story so that they know that they're not alone, so that you know that you're not alone, so that we can start to change and shape and shift our society into not allowing those things to be okay to happen anymore. And that's what this shadow work is. It's balancing and integrating this darkness, turning it into life, allowing it to bring peace and joy to your life, and aligning with this vibration, and aligning with the energy on these cards, and believing that you can find peace and balance, that you can find joy and happiness. Happy new moon, friends. Skip to the end and join us for the closing statement. Hello, group 2. If you chose this beautiful angel, goddess, whatever you want to call her, heart message, then this is your reading for the Libra new moon for September 2022. We'll get to the love message at the end. Start with the tarot cards, and we've got some color messages and some Samhain messages. I couldn't resist bringing out the Halloween cards already. So the first card we have here is the Nine of Wands, and he's coming to us in reverse. We also have the Three of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the Eight of Swords. So the first messages that I see here is that there's, it's like 50% fire wand energy and 50% sword energy. So I think that this might have to do with some sort of creative project and how you are thinking and reacting to it. With the Nine of Wands in reverse, this is about giving up on something, deciding to not keep fighting or keep winning. Because when we have the Nine of Wands upright, you've got one more fight left in you. You still want to keep going. But when he comes to us in reverse, this is about maybe you've just decided, you were working on a project and you decided not to do it anymore. You've decided to leave something, and wands oftentimes represent, because they represent fire. So this is oftentimes something that maybe you were passionate about and that passion just kind of fizzled out. This could be a creative project. Sometimes it can represent a work or job, but I mostly associate wands with creativity and passion. But then with the Three of Wands next to it, I kind of feel like this was the right decision for you, and that you're going to be surprised that by ending this thing is allowing something else to come in, something that you've been waiting on, something that I feel it has this very surprising feeling to it. So I think maybe you're like, you thought that you had to, you're worried that you were supposed to keep moving with whatever this was, and I think it's going to surprise you that by ending this thing, that it's going to put things into alignment, that things are going to start coming in. And then with the Six of Swords, the Six of Swords is about leaving a rocky situation and moving into a calmer one. So maybe you were fighting and struggling to like keep this thing alive, and then the second you decided to end it is when things just started to flow smoothly, and it wasn't a struggle anymore, and things just started happening. But the Eight of Swords at the end here, this is about putting ourselves in a self-made prison. Maybe you thought that like there was this one way to do something and that was the only way, or it wasn't going to work out. And I think now you're realizing that you need to step out of that narrow-minded way of thinking, because that's keeping you trapped and blocking you from continuing to move forward with this flow and this movement that we see here with the Three of Wands and the Six of Swords. I think it's important for you around the dark moon to admit defeat on something, whatever this thing is, and to be okay with it, to be at peace with that. I think you are going to be surprised that things will start to flow into alignment, and things that you've been asking for and manifesting are going to start coming in. And sometimes just because you hit a rocky spot doesn't mean that you have to give up on everything. There are other things coming towards you, and I think that this next moon cycle is going to be a very transitionary time for you, and that's going to be really important to give yourself that time, to allow that time. The first Samhain message we have is the Banshee. So the Banshee comes to us to scream and yell at us that you've been holding on to something and it's time to let it go. It's time to let something end. And if you haven't like ended something right now, this is your sign that you really need to it's okay to give up on things sometimes. It's okay to not finish things if they're not working and if they're not serving your highest good. The Banshee comes to scream at you very loudly and tell you it's time to give up. Some things have to come to an end in order for new things to come in. The second card we have here is the Underworld. This is another sign to us that this is a transitionary period for you. This is about allowing yourself to go within, to gather your thoughts, to heal, to grow, to transform and transition into this new flow, this new way of being, this new way of thinking once we've stepped out of this cage. And we also have the third Harvest card. And this card is really about recognizing that just because you are defeated in this one area of your life doesn't mean that you are defeated in every aspect of your life. It doesn't make you a failure. It doesn't make you wrong or bad. Or this card comes to us to remember all of the things that you have completed, you have accomplished, and celebrating those things. This is really important. I also think that because we will be coming up on the third harvest, which is Halloween, October 31st, November 1st is the third harvest of the Wheel of the Year. So I feel like this showing up might mean that all of the things that we have been talking about so far might not be happening till that point, or there's something about the third harvest that's going to be very significant for some of you. Maybe something will be happening around that time, or maybe it's when all of these things will start to kind of click into place and flow in alignment. So you need to give yourself between now and then to do the shadow work, do the healing, allow for the transition, to not be like rushing into things right now. This is about healing, growing, changing, and transitioning, allowing this thing to fall away so that the new things can come in. And I just feel like that might be a significant time period for some of you. Another really important message from this third harvest card is it asks you, and this would be a good thing to do on the new moon, is to make a list of things that you can celebrate right now. Make a list of all of your accomplishments, everything that, and this can be little things, and this doesn't have to be huge, big milestones like graduation or a raise or whatever. These can just be like little everyday things like, hey, I didn't react this way to this thing. I I came to this realization, I made the decision, and now I'm in flow and in alignment. That is something to celebrate, and that is something that you should add to this list. So make a list on the new moon of everything that you can celebrate, all of your accomplishments, all of the things that you're good at. And keep this list so that whenever you're feeling discouraged or like you're stepping back into this caged energy, bring out the list, read it, and remind yourself that just because you've had one failure doesn't mean that you don't have any accomplishments. So keep that list around so that you can refer back to it and remind yourself of all of the wonderful things that you have completed.
In magic, the underworld is a place of transition between one life and the next, a place where you can retreat to replenish your soul and learn the details of your next human experience. That doesn't mean you won't find judgment when you cross the veil. It is often said that how you live one life will determine your abundance in the next. Those who go through life with loving, kind hearts will find prosperity and great love in the next. Those who were cruel will find themselves in a life of hardship and trauma as a way to atone for their unkindness. The message for this card is about transitions. It's about moving out of the old and into a new way of living. You've been clearing out baggage for a long time because it takes a long time to clear out ways of doing and thinking that make up our very ways of life. But it's time to step through the threshold into something new and different. This can be scary. It means something had to die so that your new life may begin. You are more than prepared to handle the new path, or it wouldn't have been given to you. Embrace the change, loved one.
And we can't have all this darkness without some color. So we've got the color cards here, and we have Amber and Toni. I thought it was really interesting that these are both very fall colors, and they're also very similar colors. So we are going to read both of the messages for these cards. Whoops.
Learn about your ancestry. You have the ability to heal and release the past. Researching history proves beneficial. The Amber Goddess is the goddess of history and the past. To her upper right, there is the West African Sankofa symbol, which means healing the past. Underneath her are history books and ancestral records next to the large door. She beckons you to enter through this door, which leads to the past, your history and ancestry. There is something there that you must take a look at and reevaluate. Is it a repeated pattern, long-held grudge, or guilt? This is not limited to only this lifetime, but includes past lives as well. The amber stone and necklace also signifies the passing of time, as amber in reality is fossilized tree resin, tens of millions of years old, and some pieces being as old as 320 million years. If you were to hold a piece of amber in your hand, you would be able to feel the ancestry. It is quite amazing. The timeless beauty of the amber wheels are her favorite flowers, but she grows them sparingly so as not to diminish their uniqueness. Go through the door and be not afraid to greet what is behind. You will achieve victory. A call to action. It is time for you to fight for yourself, someone else, or what you strongly believe in. Toni Goddess is a warrior goddess who will fight for what is right. She is part human, part elven, and part lioness. She dashes confidently into battle, torch in hand, eyes blazing. Enemies are but a bit of rubble to her, mild obstacles on the path to making her point, reaching her goal, or better. Her color is the fiery orangey brown of the lion's mane, her flower the appropriate red-hot pokers. The brilliance of her tawny zircon stones shine brightly, like the irises of the lion. Her symbol is the laurel wreath, meaning victory. She calls you through her doors and into her realm because it is time for you to stand up for someone or something. It could be yourself, someone else, or an issue, moral, or value that is important to you. Now is not the time to sit back and observe. Your action, your voice is required. This could lead to conflict, but like this goddess, you are expected to stand tall and forge ahead bravely. Are you up for the challenge?
We can't have all this dark without some flash of color.
And last, but certainly not least,
your beautiful love message for this Libra new moon is acceptance, is key to inner peace. At times, we must accept things as they are. There is no point in trying to change which is beyond our control. This card really speaks to allowing things, to taking a pause and allowing things to come in, allow these ships to come in, and to allow yourself to get into calmer waters before you make any decisions and before you move forward.
Stand tall, stand proud, integrate the darkness, spread the light, spread the color, accept what is that you cannot control. Allow, allow, allow. Happy new moon, and stay tuned. Join us for the closing statement and announcements at the end.
All right, group 3, if you chose this beautiful woman who seems to be sleeping or just really loving herself, relaxing, this is your message for the Libra new moon. We've got tarot cards to go through first, and we've got dark and color to help balance out these two energies. And we'll get to those oracle in a minute. The first card we have here is the 5 of Wands. The Page of Cups. The Ace of Cups. And the 6 of Pentacles. So the first messages that we have here is that there is something being offered to you, especially when we look at the Page of Cups and the Ace of Cups together, something on a spiritual level or an emotional level. So because this is a collective reading, this could be, for some of you, it might be representing some sort of spirituality element coming in for you, psychic gifts, that sort of thing. Or this could be an emotion, a new feeling, a new love, a new relationship. But there is conflict. You are resisting this new thing from coming in. And I feel like this is representing an internal conflict. This is you not allowing yourself to receive this gift, this emotion, or this person coming into your life. And that is clarified here with the 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles is a card that speaks to giving and receiving. This is usually talking about financial situations, as a card of charity, either being in a position where you are able to offer charity to others, or being in a position where you're needing to receive charity from others. But because we are talking about cups and emotions here, I think that this is about giving and receiving love, giving and receiving spirituality, being open to receiving psychic gifts or messages, or for those of you that this is referring to a relationship, this could be about needing to set intentions around allowing yourself to receive love, to receive messages and gifts from spirit, and not fighting yourself, not struggling so much internally, doing the shadow work as we are entering shadow season, into figuring out why
Why do we put up these blocks? Why do we put up these walls? Why aren't we allowing ourselves to receive? And don't let this, we have the underworld card. Don't let this feel like you have to be acting and doing something now. This next moon cycle is going to be a transitionary time for you. So doing that shadow work, figuring out, getting down to the core beliefs and what is really enabled you to put up this wall and why you're resisting this change. So this is a transitionary time. When we see the underworld card, this is about going into the darkness, into the subconscious, and seeing what you discover there, and healing whatever it is that you find. We also have this transformation card. However, it is coming to us in reverse. So this tells me that you have been really stubborn about this, really resisting this change and not allowing it to happen. The message of this card is to let the wind carry you. And I think that that is so fitting for this Libra new moon, because Libra is an air sign. So just imagining that you're floating in the wind and allowing this transition to happen and being open to wherever the wind carries you. Another message comes to us in reverse is the Rooted card. So this card speaks to, again, to stubbornness and feeling like you need to stay in one place. And this card speaks to feeling like you are unsafe. So it's going to be important for you to, again, go down and journey into the underworld and see what that is and build a stronger, more formidable and safe boundary instead of this resisting. We don't want this wall for blocking good things from coming in. We need a wall that makes us feel safe and protected, not prevents us from growth and transformation. Transformation in reverse is unyielding. You've battened down the hatches and refuse to budge, even though you're seconds from being swept away. Let the winds carry you where they want. You may not understand why you're being taken so far off course, but realize there is a great plan that is beyond your current understanding. In reverse, rooted is even more significant. You have lost your way or feel unsafe, unsupported, or entirely out of your body. It can be hard to grow something when you do not have the soil to support its foundation. Put your goals aside and take time to create an earth-based practice. You might find that your magic hasn't worked and you're wondering why. That is because this piece of the puzzle is missing. This is especially true if you have never consciously grounded before. Add this to your practice and watch yourself grow. And our color cards are Salmon, Obstacles, Perseverance, and Persistence. Believe that you can do this work and believe that you can keep going and keep persisting and build this new wall. Build this wall to be different. Build this wall to be a bubble or a shield and not something that's keeping everything out. Believe that you can do this work even though it's hard and scary. And remember that shadow work, it doesn't happen overnight. This is something that you slowly chisel down a little bit at a time. And our other message here is Sage, Alchemy, Solutions, and Wisdom. So this is about journeying into the underworld and integrating that darkness with the light, mixing the dark with the color, allowing yourself to be happy and sad at the same time. You can experience both extremes, but just not letting one overpower the other. And your beautiful love message is surrender. At times, we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go, and all will work out. allow yourself to travel and journey in the wind, and who knows where you might land. Something magical and loving and emotional is coming your way if you do the work and rebuild that wall to allow these things to come in. I believe in you and I believe in your magic. Happy new moon, dear friends. Please join us at the end for the closing statement and announcements. I hope to see you there. Thank you for sticking around, friends. Happy new moon. Let's use our incense during this dark time as the light is almost peeking into existence. This helps us connect to the air element, which rules Libra. And we also discussed earlier with your love messages that Libra is also ruled by Venus. So, collectively speaking, this time is an integration time, a transition time, and I really get this imagery. Have you know the image of the scales of justice, the scales of Libra, and I think I remember in science class, we in elementary school or middle school or something, we would use those scales, and when you place an object on it, it kind of does this back and forth movement until it either settles out or one is raised and one is lowered, that sort of thing. So this is that give and take, that push and pull, that evening out, smoothing out, layering out transitionary period for all of us collectively. That was really reflected with the Samhain messages that we got. We have transformation and underworld appeared in more than one group. And I think the third harvest, which is Halloween time, is going to be a big marker for people. That's either using this time as an integration time until the third harvest and then taking first steps or movement towards things. But this is really an inaction, a kind of like allowing those scales to settle and balance. So I think the third harvest is a really good time frame for a lot of people to kind of pause and wait to do anything until around that time, or that something is going to start to make sense around the third harvest or Halloween, like something is going to appear and or make sense or click, or you'll receive information, or you'll just know which way to go if you give yourself this pause in this time period. The Page of Cups also appeared for two of the groups, and I think that's very significant for speaking for the collective, is that when we give ourselves these pauses and these times of rest and these periods of darkness, like the moon cycle teaches us, we will notice that things will start to appear. They'll start to make sense. They will start to have clarity, or it's like you'll have these aha moments like, oh, why didn't I see that before? One of our color goddesses was also another signifier. She came up, Sage Goddess came up in both of the, or two of the groups. And so this is alchemy, solutions, and wisdom. This is integrating the wisdom in your life after you've done that shadow work in the underworld. We are entering shadow season. We're about to head into eclipse season next month, and so this is a time to really integrate, to really go deep, and to alchemy is the transformation, is taking one thing and transforming it into another, taking your pain and transforming it into power, the lessons that you've learned, the wisdom that you have discovered on your journey. remember to focus on your breath. This really helps to give you that peace and that sacred pause. This might be a time when we start to get quiet and we're able to hear the messages from our guides, and we're really, really, really being called to rest, to pause, to breathe, to believe that we can move forward, we can grow, we can change, we can transform, we can be the person that we want to be, we can be the change that we want to see in the world. And if any of this resonates with you, please comment below. If you enjoyed the meditation, please let me know. I really appreciate your feedback. It helps motivate me to continue to bring you things that you like and you are interested in and that are helpful and healing for you. If you haven't already, please go check out my Kickstarter to help us get the 2023 Just a Phase Moon Planner printed. I know that it's strange to be ordering something for 2023 now, but that is just the way we have to do it as an independent person. I'm doing this all by myself, so Kickstarter helps me to get those funds so that I'm able to bring more copies to you. And I know a lot of you have asked about digital copies. That will only be made possible if we are going to hit our Kickstarter goals. So thank you to everyone who has supported already. I can't express my gratitude enough. So thank you for those of you who have already contributed. I'd like to share with you also the October candle box kit. All of the links for Kickstarter and subscriptions, my website, all of that stuff is linked in the description box below. This is going to be our Scorpio moon cycle for the most part. So we have lots of black and shadowy candles here. We also have some orange and yellows for the season, and we are having an Aries full moon, so that is why we are focusing on the red here. And this month we are receiving a whole jar of black obsidian stone crystals. They're I guess you could call them chipstones, but they're quite larger than your typical chipstones. And we will be discussing how to work with, you can work with any crystal, no matter how big or how small, you can work with the energy of any crystals. And the reason I wanted to work with these smaller ones is to give you an opportunity to lay some protection boundaries around your home. And this allows you to protect every window and every door as we are continue to get darker and darker as we are entering the veil is shadow season, the veil is thinning. So this is the October box. When you have until the end of September to sign up for the October box. So when you join the membership, you in 1 month you will get the next month, and then you have the opportunity to cancel or continue your membership depending on whether you want the next month's box or not. So for example, in October, if you sign up in October, you'll receive November's box, and those all ship out at the first of the month. So I am loving putting these together, and this gives you an opportunity to have the colors that you need for that particular month when you need it for your candle magic. So remember to take some time out during the dark moon and to rest, to digest, to integrate. And you know what? We have been given permission from these readings to allow ourselves to rest for the entire moon cycle. Integrate, meditate, rest, relax, get quiet, and breathe. Happy new moon, my friends. Thank you so much for being here.